Hello and welcome, Coloholics. I'm your host, Captain Sid. Today in the interview booth, I have Dr. Dustin Nicholas, or as the Mafia knows him, Dr. Nichols. If you work for the Union, you see Doc Nick. All right. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing pretty well, and yeah, you messed up my name the first time through there.
Well.
Nichols. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right though. A lot of people mess it up. It's pretty common. I don't mind.
Yeah. Well, this is America, the country that I've learned to hate because America is dead. But we'll get into that in another day.
Oh yeah, plenty of grievances.
Oh yes. So where do you hail from, there, Doc?
I am from Dallas, Texas. It's
Outstanding.
really crappy.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Most Texans are, Texas. But regardless to say, so when did you find Coloholics?
Oh, it must have been my sophomore year of high school, so I would guess about probably 4 or 5 years ago. I can't remember it all because it's been that long and I'm that old, I guess.
How old are you, if you don't mind?
I'm 20 years old right now.
Wow.
I would have been 17 at the time, so yeah, about 3 or 4 years.
I am older than you. How do you feel so old?
I've just been through a lot.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling all too well. So tell me, how has your stay with Coloholics been compared to any other RP site you've been on?
I really love Coloholics just because it's really just great community, great people all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yeah, just great people. I don't really ever have any problems with anybody.
Well, according to the internet, we are the assholes of the internet, right up there with 4chan.
That's probably because they don't want to give us a chance. And I can admit there are a few people, myself included, that kind of hassle new people when they come in, just because. I mean, it's not trying to be mean, but just trying to.
Are you hazing? Is that what we're doing here? Is it because we were all hazed when we first joined?
Well, not so much of that. It's just, well, in my case, like Big Sear says, Doc's a dick.
Shut up.
Yeah, like, not really mean to people on purpose, especially the new people. It's just, sometimes they're a bit rude to us, so, yeah.
Well, I get tired of, how do you navigate? It's pretty laid out where you need to go. There is even a help document that we give them.
Right.
Hell, there's a mentor program. I honestly don't know how people get lost. I'll admit, when I first got it, it was a little overwhelming with all the choices and directions I could go. But I picked one. I said, fuck the mentor thing. I joined it for like 30 days and really didn't need my mentor because I kind of was like, oh, that's an RP. I'll read the rules. Oh, that's how I do this. Okay, this is too easy. Of course, I avoided the chat box for the longest time. I was like, fuck that. How was the chat box in your experience?
To be honest, I'm lazy when it comes to role-playing. I have character sheets I haven't finished in months, and it's really sad to admit that.
So you're one of those people that Vix talked about in his interview?
Yeah. Probably specifically me.
Just a chatty Cathy. But, hey, to each their own. I mean, Coloholics has everyone of every walks of life in the roleplay community.
Like, when I do get around to role-playing, I've been told that I'm actually pretty good at it. Like I said, I'm just lazy, and I lose interest really quickly when nobody else posts. And then I just kind of leave it behind.
I have the same issue, but usually it's because the RP has died. I have this weird feeling that I touch it and it dies.
Yeah, same here.
But, so, all in all, how would you rate our community for helpfulness, equality, quality of our community, and douchebaggery? How would you rate that?
I would go with 8s on all counts, probably. We're all, I mean, I can't consider anybody that's on call out not a douchebag, because some of them are pretty rude. And I'm saying that with the best intentions on heart. I love our community, and I think we're all amazing people. It's just...
Well, yeah, we can't escape the fact that some of us are douchebags.
Right.
But that kind of puts up the charm, though.
Yeah, exactly. And despite that, we are a very helpful community. Like, I mean, we have the mentor program for a reason. Like, and my idea is that when you join, it's the mentor's job to be nice to you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think I'd floppy when I was still getting a mentor, so it was kind of a weird sadist masochist kind of thing going on there.
Well, I actually skipped the mentor program because before I joined, I was good friends with one of our members named Sarie.
Yeah.
And she showed me the site before I even joined, and I learned pretty much most of everything from her.
So in a sense, you did have a mentor.
Well, yeah, but not officially.
Yeah.
I still remember the first RP that I joined, which was an Orin High School Host Club RP.
Interesting.
Right.
Well, it looks pretty good. I'm pleased to hear that you had a really good experience when you first joined. So, moving on, what was your favorite RP and why?
Oh, there are quite a few. I think right now I'm probably fixating more around. It's one that I don't play in myself, but I do read it, just because I like to see the other members interacting with each other, and that would mostly be Legacy. I really enjoy Legacy.
Can you tell me a little bit about it? I don't think I've ever looked into it.
It's a fantasy role play. Tiny Pink Elephants is the moderator for it.
Okay.
It's a world that he created. At least I'm assuming so, because I haven't seen any indication otherwise.
Yeah.
Different races, things like that. And the way he runs it is traditional, but it's its own style. I haven't seen a traditional role play in the same style before.
How so?
Just the way he lays out certain posts, and at least on Coloholics, I haven't seen the way this work, like any other roleplay the same way. Like, he has the character threads all the same topic, pretty much. And he doesn't have sub forums at all. It's all just on this main page, just different threads for each posting, pretty much.
Sounds pretty risky in a sense. You have all this clutter. But if it's working, I can't argue with the results.
Exactly. That's one of the things that I like about it, because it is working.
It has its own little to and fro, if you will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sounds good. I might actually have to give that a gander as well. So just getting into it, that's your current favorite RP. You don't have like an all-time favorite of your own?
All-time favorite. There's one that died out about a year ago, and I forgot what it was called. Let's see if I can find it here.
What do you remember what genre it was?
It was a fantasy one, and it's not on the old retired section.
It might have been.
I can't remember exactly what it was.
It might have been time of the uneasy time of the merger.
Yeah, I think that's what killed it, probably.
Do you remember who it was run by?
No, not at all. And I do remember that they're not here anymore. So
I think I know what one you're talking about. It's changed names twice, I believe. I think that's the one. Maybe not. I don't know. There's a lot of creative writers who've come and gone in the past. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, moving on. What are your thoughts on the Coloholics of the present? How do you feel about it right now?
Right now, I think it's doing pretty well. I wouldn't say we're at the quality of role-playing that it was when I joined.
Ouch. That's a nice little jab.
Oh, yeah, but I'm sorry. But just being honest, we have a lot of new members that are getting into role-playing, and they just haven't reached that quality just yet.
Well,
and the older members have moved on with their lives. But we still have a lot of the Golden Age champs, which I'm happy about.
I'm sad to say I will definitely never be among those titans.
I don't think so. I don't think I will be either, but I hope I can be around at least to see some other people join that.
What was that movie? He's like, if I could just stand there and capture the light that bounces off of them in their glory, I would be content with my life just to simply go blind in that very moment. So that moment is burned into my eyes forever.
I don't watch movies very often, so
I don't remember what movie it is. That might have been just something that pulled out my ass, but something to that effect. I've seen some great writers that I was amazed with.
Yeah.
I don't believe I've seen you in too many RPs, but you, like you said, you're pretty lazy with that, which I can't begrudge you on that one. There's a lot that goes on in one's life.
Yeah, which that is one of the main reasons I get lazy is because I have had a lot. I went through a period of like 8 months that I couldn't even get on Coloholics at all. It's just things like that happen quite often. I mean, I'm on enough to use the chat box, but not enough to roleplay.
Nah. How do you feel about our current expansion? It seems like every time we expand, we kind of take on a more dip into the debt a little bit.
Yeah. I'm
almost like the American government.
Yeah, expansion's always good, but there's a point to it where we just got to ask ourselves, is it worth it anymore? We have so many role plays that have mediocre, if any, posting going on.
Yeah,
and it's frustrating seeing those when we have such problems with our debt right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not against the people that created those, but it's still a fact, and it's frustrating.
No, I feel like I've contributed to that myself when I gave that mass amount so many times that people are like, oh, well, I don't have to now. Much like I talked with Bix, he was talking about, he hit on that really well about how everyone's got this Japanese complex of, oh, well, someone else would get it. Someone else would jump in.
Right. And that's one of the things I don't like about this site. I mean, I know it's a dick move to say this, but I think we should have a mandatory fee. But I know a lot of people won't like that. I know TFE doesn't like that, so I'm not going to push for it. But I think it would be useful. I mean, it would help.
It would be a useful tool, but we also have to wonder, that means we have to push up the quality of all our threads, posts. The site would have to be pristine. It wouldn't just simply be Coloholics anymore. It'd be a corporation. Because we're going in for profit in the sense of paying our bills.
Well, not necessarily profit. It's
well, yeah, it's meeting our margin with paying bills, but
right.
You get the sense.
And another thing that I was considering, but I know nobody would like it, is allowing ads on the site and just having those to help pay. But I don't know how that works. You'd have to ask Nevo about it.
Yes. Nevo's always adding newer and better things, but sometimes it's one of those, like the little chat bar at the bottom. I don't use it as often as I would like.
Yeah, the Facebook thing there. I turn that off as soon as I log in.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad feature, but at the same time, everyone's got the C-Box. Now, if we switch from the C-Box to the Facebook chat bar,
right.
It also removes the purpose of a PM, though, because you can get in private chat rooms. But
yeah.
That's for something for another time. Moving on, how do you feel about, what are your thoughts on the future Coloholics? How do you see this going?
As long as TFE keeps at it, which I mean, I don't see him doing anything other than what he's doing now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a good future. I mean, he's a great leader, and with his staff behind him, and I guess I'd consider myself one of those people because I'm a forum designer as well.
That's a very, very necessary thing on a forum.
Yeah.
Well, would we consider Coloholics itself a forum, or we just consider it just a site, and we have multiple forums?
To be honest, I wouldn't even consider it a site or a forum. It's its own community, its own world, pretty much.
Planet Colo.
Pretty much.
I like it. If I ever get some money, I'm going to name it a new discovered planet Coloholic. Coloholics, my bad. I think I'll do that for Colo.
Yep.
But,
or start discovering them yourself.
That's very true. Or name the ones that they've named AGBKY number 3.
Right.
Well, I like the points you've made, sir. It's been a pleasure having you in the interview loft. Well, ladies and gents, it's our last segment part, the hail and farewell. And if you have a shout out, please do.
Not particularly. You all know who you are, and well, Coloholics will last, so don't worry about it.
Indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you all adieu. Good night and farewell.